Today, we'll be taking a look at the Hi-limit Safety Thermostat kit on this LG gas dryer. Be sure to visit ApplianceVideo.com, where you will find thousands of repair videos on the latest technology. And for a limited time, you can save big on an annual membership and take advantage of all of our premium benefits. ApplianceVideo.com. Do it right the first time. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for the proper voltage. Remember to also turn off the gas. You will need the following tools to complete this repair. To begin, you must first remove the top. In order to do so, there are 3 Phillips screws that will need to be removed. Let's take these out. Then we'll have to pop this cover off. What you do is flex in, just start to lift up. Set it aside. Go ahead and take these screws off. Then to remove your top, put pressure on the top, slide it back and forth and lift up. And finally, set the top to the side. Now that that's set aside, the next thing we'll want to do is remove the control panel here. To do so, first we will unhook the wiring harness. It is just a pinch locking tab. Remove that. We will use a Phillips screwdriver to remove. There are 2 screws, one on each edge of the control console here. Next, to remove the actual piece itself, there are small locking squares on the top. And what you'll want to do is find where each one of these are and flex up on the plastic right there and pull forward. And once you get all of them, you can see it will start to disattach. Gently pull out, pull your wiring out, and set the control panel to the side. The next thing we'll need to do is remove this front panel. To do so, first we're going to open it up and take out these 2 screws here. They're both Phillips. Let's close the door up, set those screws to the side. Next, we are going to remove these 3. Of course, when removing the last one, make sure you push pressure against the front. Let's slide forward. And we do have the wiring harness for the door switch on here. Simply pull out, lift up on the front, and set it to the side. Now, let's go ahead and remove the frame bracket. It's held on by 2 Phillips screws at the top. When we remove the second one, make sure you hold on to the bracket. Next, slide up, pull out, and set it to the side. Next, we can remove the front bulkhead with a couple of easy steps. First, we'll disconnect your LED bulb harness. Next, we'll have to remove this strain reliever. Move it to the side where you can pinch it with pliers and pull up. On the very bottom here, we have 1 more wiring harness. Just pinch and separate. Now, you'll have to remove these Phillips screws on the front. Now, to remove the actual bulkhead, we will have to lift up and slide out. Do the same on the other side. Lift up, slide out, and we will set it to the side. Now that we have the bulkhead removed, we can start to remove the drum. In order to remove the drum, what we'll have to do is release the tension on the belt first. So I want you to reach inside. You'll find your idler pulley. You'll find the bar to the idler here, and of course your belt is wrapping around your motor. Press up on the idler pulley to release tension. Pull off the belt from the motor and let it sag. Gently let your idler fall back down. Now when removing your drum, we're going to use the belt to help pull it. Lift up, slide out, and set it to the side. Now that we have the drum removed, we have clear access to our burner tube thermostat kit here. What it consists of is your thermostat on the top and the resettable fuse on the bottom. The main reason why you'd be replacing this kit is if the unit is not heating. Generally what happens is your venting gets obstructed, and this flame should go all the way through the burner tube. If your venting is clogged, what will happen is the flame will sag down, and this resettable fuse on the bottom here will actually pop out and it will no longer heat. Now when you take this apart, sometimes you'll see this little white button in the middle that may be popped down, and you can press it and reset it. Sometimes this will work fine, but if it keeps popping on you and your venting is clear now, the kit will need to be replaced, and it comes as both the fuse on the bottom and the thermostat on the top. So to replace the kit, it's a little harder to get to. We have 2 screws holding this one on. Let's get down here at the small screwdriver and just try to twist this off of here. There we go. And let's do the same for the second one over here. All right, I'll pull those out. Let's get the screw out. And then let's pull the wiring off of this now. It's a little harder to get off with it underneath. Then we have the thermostat on the top. Before we do that, let's go ahead and lift our wiring up. As you can see from the factory, these are very, very tight. You may need something to pry it like I did. I used a tack puller. And now this one is held on by 2 Phillips as well. So let's get the first one out. Let's get the second one. And let's set them to the side. When installing your new kit, let's start on the top. We will get a screw in the side and screw it on in here. Now, this side over here has a little tooth that goes inside the flame tube, so it can only be put on one way. Make sure we don't drop our screws here. Get this other one in. And now let's reinstall the wiring. Now the one on the bottom is a little bit more difficult. We're going to do the same thing. It's going to be hard to see, but we're going to go underneath here. There's also a tooth on one side that'll correspond to a slot in the burner tube. So we're going to do that side first. We're going to keep it kind of loose there to install the other one. All right, there, we got it lined up. Let's tighten up the screw. Let's do the same with the other one. Nice. Now we will reinstall the wiring on the bottom. Always make sure that your new fuse, the reset portion, is pressed in. Now we can reinstall the drum. When reinstalling your drum, again, we're going to keep the belt on to help bring it in, bring it all the way to the back. I want you to put pressure against the drum and give it a spin to put it on the rollers. Lift up on the drum and the belt and just give it some spins to get it to where you're about 3/4 the way there to the back. All right, now let's reach inside. You'll find the belt, your idler, and your motor. What we will do is there's a ribbed side to the belt as well as a flat side. Press your flat side against the idler. We will pull up on the idler and keep pulling the belt back. Go around your motor with the ribbed side. Gently let down on your idler. Now we can reinstall the bulkhead. When reinstalling our bulkhead, you have these teeth that will slide into these slots on the frame. And what we'll do is we will lean the front on the lip of the bulkhead, lift it up, and put it into one side. We'll do the same on the other. Once we have it set in, let's go ahead and give it a turn. This will draw the rest in. Now we can push these in. So lift up, push in, lift up, push in. Let's go ahead and reinstall our screws. Plug back in our wiring harness on the bottom. Let's move up to the top. Reinstall our LED wiring harness as well as our strain reliever. Now we can reinstall the frame bracket. When reinstalling your frame bracket, you have two teeth, one on each side, that will slide into this area on the actual frame itself. So let's start on one side. Make sure they're not bent. Put it in, slide it down. Let's go to the other side, put it in, slide it down. We will reinstall our two screws. The metal likes to flex on this, so just be kind of gentle. Now we can reinstall the front panel. When reinstalling your front panel, first on the very bottom of the frame, you have two hooks. They will apply to the slide areas on the front panel. So slide it in. Make sure the teeth go in the slot. Let's reinstall the door switch harness. We have our drill ready. Let's install the first screw. Do these other two. Followed by the two inside. Now we can reinstall the console. When reinstalling our console, first we will reinstall the wiring through here. Next, you will line it up. It will drop down into the front portion. Once you get it there, push back and make sure it snaps in. We will reinstall our two screws. Bring in our harness and reinstall it to the control. Now we can reinstall the top. When reinstalling the top, you have 4 white pins that are lifted up. These will go inside the holes on the top. So we will drop it about midway, set it down flat and push it forward. All of our screw holes should line up. Let's bring back in our screws and our cover. What we'll do first is just reinstall the two on the ends. When reinstalling your plate, you will slide these portions into the metal down here, the hooks into the metal at the top. So slide it in. Now when you are pushing this in, you will have to flex the metal down in order to get this to pass. Slide it in. We'll get the hooks in. Reinstall our screw. And this will complete the repair. Thank you for watching another quality video from ApplianceVideo.com. If you found this video helpful, make sure you click the like and subscribe to our channel.